Hi, I'm Hailey. I'm a licensed esthetician and I specialize doing corrective treatments in medical aesthetics. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience today breaking into medical aesthetics, what that journey was like, because I've been an esthetician for 7 years now, working in medical aesthetics for over 5, and it definitely was difficult to get into. So I kind of just wanted to talk about that process, what it looks like, and really just talk about like realistic expectations for a career too. So first and foremost, I developed a passion for skincare at a young age, and I remember, before skincare was so huge, you would say hyaluronic acid to someone, like you would recommend them use a hyaluronic acid, and they would look at you like you were crazy. They'd be like, "You want me to put what on my face?" So I've been doing this for a while, and I really love it. This is my dream career, and I genuinely feel like I'm, called to do this. I'm motivated each day. I love learning about it. So really my background began with just an interest in topical skincare products, how they work for the skin. And I was just really fascinated by the science. And then I love people. I love working with people and helping them feel more confident in their skin. And I know that might sound cliche, but it was just kind of a beautiful mixture of the two things, right? So I would say that my specialty is corrective skincare treatments with the 40 and up crowd, and I love it. I mean, gosh, that sounded very, very Southern. I'm in North Carolina, by the way. This is where I'm from, so it might sound Southern sometimes. I work really hard to suppress that accent. Now, anyway, so I remember when, I was in school to be an esthetician and going over the possibilities with my instructor and just what the different jobs that you could have, what that looked like, and it really seemed to be the common trend in the classroom to want to get into medical aesthetics. And so I would ask my instructor, and she really didn't have a lot of information because she didn't have a background in medical aesthetics specifically. She focused more on like holistic skincare, facials, my first instructor. Second instructor did have a medical background, so I got more information from her. But so she just didn't have a ton of advice in that realm. And everyone in the classroom seemed, to want to get into medical aesthetics. And I guess everyone's motivation is a little bit different. So first and foremost, I would ask, if you're, considering medical aesthetics, why? Like, what is it about it that draws you personally? Where do you feel like you're really passionate or excited about it? What do you feel like is most interesting? And for me, it really was just the really transformative outcomes that you could get from more invasive treatments, truly. And I was just so fascinated by that, and how everything that you're doing is essentially a controlled injury to work with your body's healing response to make things better, stimulate collagen, elastin, and really just the skin's ability to heal itself is just so fascinating to me. And so that's what kind of drew me in and what called me to specialize in that specifically. But I would say kind of look internally and just figure out what your niche is, because there are a variety of different options, and sometimes I feel like there's this almost like pretentious nature around like medical estheticians, where they or people feel maybe kind of pushed to do that because it might look better in some way, but ultimately it's your life and you're going to succeed doing where passion meets talent. So where those two intersect, you're going to have your most success. So I would look internally and just think, what do I enjoy doing the most? Like, what makes me feel the best? And maybe that is like stress reduction and holistic facials or brows or microblade, like whatever you want to do. Honestly, you have so many options, which is what's amazing. And then also check into your state board regulations, because what I can do as an esthetician in North Carolina is very, very different than what an esthetician in California can do. So definitely check in with your local state board and see what you can do as a solo esthetician, or working at a spa, or working in a medical aesthetics, practice. See what treatments you have the ability to offer, and then see if that's something that you're even interested in. So I would suggest that. You could also maybe even think about practices in your area if you're interested in medical aesthetics. Like, look up their website, see what treatments their estheticians offer, and see, again, if that's something that you're interested in. Learn about the treatment or the device. There's actually a ton of free available information from, laser companies have I would say like the majority of them have a free open portal of webinars just talking about the technologies and how they work in the skin and clinical applications. So I think that there's a ton of free resources, and I'd be really happy to share some recommendations there, because there's a lot of great information already out there. But yeah, just see if that's something that sparks your interest and is exciting to you. I will say that getting into it, especially if you're looking into like laser technologies, can be a little bit overwhelming, but know that if you apply yourself, if you really study and ask a lot of questions, there's just so many free resources now that I feel like yes, it can be overwhelming, but it can also be really exciting. And if you're really passionate about it, and you dedicate some time and energy, you can learn anything, you know what I mean? So that would be my first recommendation. See what you're able to do. See what your dream office in your area is offering from their estheticians. See if that aligns with your interest. Next, I would say when you get out of aesthetic school, you gotta learn to take some jobs you don't want for a little while, for sure, because if you do not have experience, you have to think about, and I will say every job that I've ever had has taught me something that is so valuable, and I've learned so much from it. It's all about what you choose to take away from something. I've worked with people that said, I'm only accepting my dream job and nothing else. Maybe you're not dream job ready, So when you have no experience working with skin, you just need to build that up first and foremost. And maybe that's like taking some jobs you don't like along the way, but everything in life is kind of like a ladder. So you're just going step by step, but you do need real world experience working with skin. So first priority should just be working with skin, getting a job, and then, kind of taking what you can from that experience, learning, doing your best every day, and then taking that to another experience and so on. I worked plenty of jobs, and not all of them did I feel passionate about what I was doing or super loved every moment of, but I learned something in all of them nonetheless. And I use those skills that I learned back then daily today. So it's like kind of just a process. So short answer, there is no medical esthetician, I can't speak today. There is no medical esthetician. Why can I not say esthetician? This is literally what I am. What the heck? There is no medical esthetician school. You're going to school to be an esthetician. You're getting your license for that. And then everything else is going to be additional training and experience on the job. So there are certain programs that you can get certifications in. And honestly, I would say if anything strictly online, don't do it. And I know some people will say, well, it's all about the information that they share and what you learn. I think that there is just something that cannot be replaced about seeing someone in person, asking them questions in person, them watching you perform a treatment to tell you if you're doing it right or wrong. You can tell someone how to do something all day long, and it's like actually seeing them and helping them kind of navigate that situation in real life, because it is kind of scary and intimidating when you're doing microneedling for the first time. Like, this person's bleeding, oh my God, is this supposed to happen? And pinpoint bleeding is the clinical endpoint. So no, you don't want to be like making them, profusely bleed everywhere. That's not the goal. We can get into that another day, because you see that all the time on Instagram. And it's like, this person's going to get a great treatment today. You did not have to do all that to get a great treatment. By the way, we do not need to make this look like a horror film. That's neither here nor there. What was I saying? I'm very, very ADHD. If you cannot tell, I'm sorry. So there isn't a designated medical esthetician program, but plenty of training courses, and I would really, really recommend in person if that's an option. A lot of it's going to be on the job experience too, and when you start working in medical practices, if that ever comes to energy-based devices, know that it is a legal requirement for the device trainer for that specific company. So if you've got a Cyton laser, for a Cyton trainer to come out and train you on that device specifically, you should always request the training that you deserve. And if you don't feel comfortable operating a device, you shouldn't, because somebody could get hurt. That's the next thing, is that understanding, yes, medical aesthetics is fun and amazing, but when you're using energy-based devices or chemical peels or microneedling, whatever you're doing, there's a level of risk associated. So, you need to make sure that you're showing up as your best every day, to take care of your patients and prioritizing safety, because I see a lot of people do aggressive treatments and brag about that, whatever, and that's their niche, their specialty, and I think that, safety should always come first. I don't want to be a cowboy, personally. I want my patients to get incredible results, yes, but I want them to get them safely. So that's also something that I take home with me sometimes. It's like, even if you do everything perfectly in the room and afterwards you kind of stress, like, is this person going to follow their post-care instructions? Did they really listen to me? I've got to check in on them. Like, it's a little bit stressful sometimes, because you just want to make sure that you're doing your best by your patients, or your clients. And yeah, so it can be a little bit stressful, and we can get in more to the day-to-day kind of situation if you'd like to another time. But yeah. Oh, and I am running out of time. So in summary, if you are an esthetician and you would like to get into medical aesthetics, my suggestions would be check in with your local state board, see what you're able to do under a medical director, look at local practices near you that have estheticians providing treatments, see what the treatments look like. So, what are they doing? Are they doing chemical peels, microneedling, lasers, IPL, BBL? Like, is that something that you're interested in? Research the devices or technologies used, and see if that's something that excites you and you'd want to learn more about. Because it's going to be a lot of learning, and anything in life that you're going to be good at, you have to really apply yourself and spend a lot of time outside of work. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent, even just cleaning my house with a training video playing in the background, and I'm just trying to absorb that information. It's like, if you want to be good at anything in life, you really have to apply yourself. So especially when you're learning about all of these different technologies or topicals used, you need to dedicate yourself. So you have to be ready for that, because the more invasive it gets, the more risk there is, and you need to absolutely make it your number one priority to do right by the people that you're caring for. So understand that there is no medical esthetician program, and if you Google it, there are plenty, and I don't think that would be worth the money. Personally, I don't think that you would be able to learn what you need to in that amount of time. So I would say, look up your local state board, see what you're able to do under a medical director, look up some local offices, see what the estheticians they're offering, see if those are treatments that you'd be interested in offering or providing. And then beyond that, get ready to take some jobs that you don't want to take along the way, so you can learn the information that you need to, and know that there are plenty of free resources if you would like to expand your knowledge. So, experience is going to look better on a resume, and really, if it gets you into the room to talk about the other treatments or technologies that you've learned about along the way, I think that would be an awesome step. And if not, you always get to keep that information. But breaking into medical aesthetics can be hard, but it's definitely just a process of gaining experience, learning, chemical peels, seeing how skin reacts, microneedling, all of those things over time. So just get ready to dedicate some time and know that it doesn't happen overnight, but you can definitely get where you want to be and achieve the things that you want to, and just figure out if this is something that you're passionate or excited about. And I hope that this is good information, because I did not even prepare for this. Typically I would prepare for something like this and make a list of things that I wanted to touch on, and today I just wanted to kind of speak freely, because sometimes I feel like I do my best talking when I'm speaking freely, and I hope I did that today. But also know that there is no formal medical esthetician training program. You're an esthetician, and then you can work in a medical aesthetics practice doing these more invasive or corrective treatments. And that's all I got to say today. Thanks for bearing with me. Hope you have a wonderful day, and maybe I'll do this again sometime.